In Deuteronomy verse 30, verse 3 and 4, it says that Yahweh your Elohim will bring you back from captivity and have compassion on you and gather you again from all the nations where Yahweh your Elohim has scattered you. Now we know that the Assyrians took the northern kingdom, house of Israel, away into captivity. We know that the southern kingdom was taken away into captivity under the Babylonians. But that was only partial fulfillment, as the scattered were brought back. And we know that the nation of Israel became a nation in 1948. But when Messiah sets up his kingdom, he's going to bring everybody back. He's going to bring not only the Jews back, not only the house of Judah, he's going to bring all the houses back. And notice in verse 4 it says, if any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under heaven, from there the Lord your God will gather you, and from there he will bring you. And notice when this happens. It says, immediately after the tribulation. Those days the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. And then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So that shows us that this is going to happen after the tribulation. In Revelation 14:12, it says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and have faith of Yeshua. So we see that you have the commandments, you have faith in Messiah. Yeshua said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So it all makes sense that one day he's going to come back for all of us who love Yeshua and also who keep the commandment. In Malachi 4 it says, remember the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded him in Horeb, for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. And notice it says, remember the law of Moshe. So we should never forget the law of Moses, as it still applies today. And the good news is that Messiah, when he returns, he's got a place for us. And it will be a temporary place in the wilderness for an amount of time. For when the tribulation is over, then he'll bring us back. And he will bring us into the kingdom. Micah 4 gives us the last days of coming into the kingdom, as all the scattered tribes, all the peoples everywhere, is what the gospel message is all about. It's about everybody coming back to Messiah. It's about coming back to him and reading, listening, and adhering to his instructions. There's an instruction manual for us, and it's found in the covenant. Now it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on top of the mountains. This is for all to see, and shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow to it. We're all going back home. He will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge between many peoples, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. The good news message is that everybody is coming back and returning to his instruction. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Shalom.